What is going on, guys? Look at that intro, eh? You like that little bit of rock music? Wake everybody up on a Monday. How you guys doing?
Doing well,
Good,
man.
good.
Everyone, welcome to Reactables. We're doing episode 6. Got some photos to share. We're gonna be talking about 2 statues today. We're gonna be talking about some exclusive photos that we're gonna be sharing for the LBS Thanos and the Constantine Prime One Constantine that was shown. Controversy overnight. So we're gonna talk a bit about those two. And before we get started, I'm gonna introduce this beautiful panel. Sean, how's it going, buddy?
It's going good, man. First day officially of Christmas break for me and my son. So we went bowling. We went out to eat. We did a lot of fun stuff today.
Awesome, sounds fun. How long? When do you go back?
Not till January 2nd.
Wow.
Wow,
First day back to school.
that's awesome. Savor every second. Wake up early, go to bed late, because you got to savor every. Because it's gonna fly by.
I kind of get forced to wake up early because my wife's like, help me with the baby real quick.
Awesome. Glad you could make it, buddy. I know you're excited for this one.
Yep.
Brenton, duty called. You're back. What's going on, man? Good to see you.
Hey, glad to be here. I'd be curious to hear everyone's thoughts on Thanos and Constantine.
Yeah, it's gonna be. We'll see. We'll see what everyone has to say, especially with that Constantine. Crazy what Prime One decided to do, but we'll get into it. Steve from Casual Nerd Problems, how you doing, buddy?
Good, man. It's funny because I feel like people at work watch CNN or Fox News and they're like, today's topics are this, and I was like, did you guys hear about Constantine by chance? No. I was like, ah. But yeah, I get to talk to you guys about it, so it's great.
They turned back. Did you hear about that economy? No, I don't
Yeah, I
think
was
I
like,
that either.
get out of here. Yeah.
We don't talk about that. Yeah, man. Glad you guys can make it. Appreciate you being here. We're gonna introduce the chat, see who's here, and then we'll get right into it. 2K3 kicking it off. What's going on, buddy? We got Edwin, Vane. How's it going, Joey? We got Alan stopping by. Walton. Hope you're doing well. Norman, how's it going, man? Appreciate you stopping by. Who else do we have here? We got Trey. He's super excited to see Thanos. Badfish. How's it going, buddy? Cram. Joey starts saying, Walton, let's start reacting. Jeez, yeah, it's here. Luke, what's going on, man? We got Carl. How you doing? Just some bum. What's going on, buddy? And I think that wraps it up for now. Right? I think
Yeah,
so.
we got Luke, we got Robin.
Rome. What's
Yeah,
going on,
Rome.
Rome? Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Whoever's watching on Facebook, appreciate the support, but we don't know who you are. Show yourself. Robin, how's it going, Robin? All right, guys. So yeah, got home, rushed, put this little shindig together. Some exciting news, especially with the Thanos, because I know that Thanos has been long awaited. We've been dying to see some more images and updates as to what's going on. So I was able to get some, and I think this is the first time these photos are going up on YouTube. So
Oh, damn.
it's an exclusive just for you guys.
So before you jump into them
Oh,
and
boy.
show us the photos,
I was almost hit the button, man. Almost. What is it, Brandon?
are these
disclaimer,
the
Brenton?
updated sculpt and everything, and not just whatever nonsense they showed us the other day?
Apparently, these are updated.
Okay.
This is it.
Because I felt bamboozled the other day.
Yeah, the other day was I got measurements to confirm.
Okay.
Well, sort of. We got basic information, but it's more information than what we're coming in with than what's out there. So
That's where I fast forward. Come on.
No, well, just so people have an idea what was going on before. I think it was last week, Thursday, Friday-ish.
yeah,
They showed pictures at a con in Singapore, and it was the old Thanos sculpt with the paint, finally the finalized paint. So people were admiring that one but we're looking technically at the wrong thing because it was just an example of how it's going to be painted.
Sculpt wise, I think we were missing swap outs. We didn't get to see many swap outs, and I think it was more the size of Thanos that wasn't updated on that one.
Which they commented on, right? Like they said that they're gonna. Weren't
Which
they making it bigger?
Well, yeah. So officially, he's going to be from base to the top of the head about 36.5 inches.
Wow.
Yeah. He's going to be a big boy. But here he is with his swap outs. Swap out portraits. From what I can see here, you get 3. One closed mouth, one grinning, and one laughing.
I felt that game where those last two were like, what's different here? You know?
No, well, the middle one, you get the grinning, and then the last one is the open mouth laugh.
I could have gone for on the grinning and then the open mouth. I could have gone without one of them to maybe have more like a cringing face or more of a he grits his teeth kind of face.
Yeah. Out of the 3, which one are you guys feeling the most?
I know a lot of people would say like this is like I would love to have texture on like the pants and like his arms and everything, but I know people say this is comic accurate. For me, I'd probably go with the laughing one on the far right. That I never seen him laugh that hard. Like the one from Sideshow, he's like grinning, he's smiling, but he's not laughing like that.
I kind of like the grinning face. I know there's certain issues where he might laugh and stuff, but I feel like the grinning is kind of more of an expression that he gives when he sees an opportunity. So I would say I'd probably go with the grinning face. But I really do like the frowning face as well on the left.
How about you, Brenton?
I was kind of thinking the arms crossed, and just kind of being like, he knows he's better than everybody.
You like the arms crossed. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's like a dominant pose, for some reason of like arrogance.
And I'm sorry, John.
No.
I had the exact same conversation with my wife just to kind of like talk it over, like just some talking points on this. And I feel like one thing Thanos isn't is arrogant. Like I feel like Thanos is more like opportunistic, I feel like he's suicidal. I feel like he's thinking of himself, but also in the most genocidal way possible.
Yeah.
So I don't really like this confident arms crossed look because I don't think he'd just be watching like that.
What would you have preferred? Because you're getting the gauntlet, you're getting the fist in hand, well, sort of fist in hand, but as opposed to the crossed arms, what would you like to see? What's going on, Jerry? Cash, thanks for stopping by, guys. Mark,
I would have liked to see a little bit more movement out of the gauntlets and the uncrossed arms, where even the grinning face, like I said before, was maybe more like a cringing face or like a bigger grinning face, I guess. It just looks like he's smiling here. Like when he grins, it's menacing. It's not happy. He looks happy in that middle one. Although I did say that I probably like that one better than the others.
Do you think having torso switch outs is a detriment to the statue? Only because it does, I guess, limit in what kind of poses you can do. Like when he's standing upright, all you can kind of do is move the arms around. Like it's kind of limited in what other options you have.
how about if you were to do a full torso swap out instead?
Well, I guess what I was thinking of, because, ideally, like something like this one,
One
where
second.
he's kind of like leaning forward.
Which is what this is supposed to be based off of. It's that run.
Yeah, so like, but that's like a more of an ab crunch and leaning
Yeah.
forward, and you can't do that when you
No.
have other switch outs, so you're kind of limited.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be able to do that. Like, I personally would want to display him more stoic, straight bodied, and then play around with the arms and portraits, as opposed to being stuck in that crunched position and then doing it that way. With a statue, how would you be able to pull off both a crunched torso like that and straightforward?
Well, no, you wouldn't. You'd have to
You would
either
have
go one or the other. That
Yeah.
like
you
you're
would have to have
stuck.
leg switch outs for
Yeah, so
that.
I
I
think
mean, the
this is the
hips.
safer option.
But
I
I don't
I
know.
think for like the first time in a long time, this is like one like big character that we don't get crunched over finally, you know? Like
Yeah.
whenever they make Hulk, he's crunched over. Whenever they make other big characters like this, they're either hunched over or they're like, in a pose where they don't show their like how tall they are. Here you're getting Thanos like straight, his chest up, chest forward and his back straight and like you're getting a Thanos here, I think. Like
Precisely.
that hasn't been done.
What's
I
going
really
on,
like
Jose?
I'd like to
Jerry's
see more grandeur out of him. You know, grandiose, right? As I know that's one big word that they've used in the books with him before.
Do you think the what's not holding him to that standard is because the base isn't surrounding him, or do you think it's just the pose overall, like him just standing like that?
I think it's the pose. I mean,
Pose.
I think the base. I think the base is what it should be. He's conquered all the gods. This is what he's been meaning to do. This is what he's wanted to do. So he's literally stepping on them. You know. So I feel like the base tells more of the story than some of the poses.
Yeah.
Jose's asking, is the scale off on this? He seems small for 1/3. Uh, Jose, measurements came in from base to the top of the head about 36.5 inches.
So it's funny you mentioned that, Jose and John. Like Jay, the guy behind LBS, he mentioned that he actually made him bigger or taller,
From
just
what he
to like
originally was, yeah.
yeah. So this is a little taller than what we initially got.
I think it's a little bit taller than Venom, if I can remember. And obviously smaller than Hulk. A tad smaller than Hulk. But yeah, 36.5 inches from bottom of the base to the top. I think this is beautiful. It's just, especially if they do light up Gauntlet.
I
Oh,
think they will.
yeah, 100%. This is
They,
just stunning.
I feel like we say this a lot. Like they kind of have to, but this one's like they kind of have to.
What do you think about the color scheme? You know, this isn't like classic comic colors. This is more of the modern color scheme.
For me, I personally don't mind it. Again, I still think that it's gonna come off a little bit more yellow than what we're seeing here. I think it's gonna play into how the photographs. Oops,
Yeah.
how the photographs are taken and the lighting. But I absolutely love this.
Brenton, would you have like the old, like the, I guess the comic version, the lighter blue,
I
or
think so because I feel like we don't see that as much. Because when I see this color scheme, I automatically think of that sideshow Thanos on throne.
that's
'Cause
exactly what I'm imagining here. Yeah.
that's, I think it's almost the same exact color scheme on that one that they have here. I think I would like a more traditional,
Especially with
Infinity
that
color.
gauntlet that he has on right now.
Yeah, but
That's
sorry, Steve, go ahead.
no, you're good. So like with that gauntlet that he
Yeah.
has, like that's definitely like traditional old school Thanos. And like with the modern one, he does have like his gauntlet is definitely
Yeah.
updated, I guess.
We did see someone tackle that Thanos on Throne by Sideshow and do a repaint with the more classic blue, and we didn't like it. I remember we had showed it, and it was more. I think we had said like that blue is so bright, it just didn't come across very well in a statue form.
I think it's different though in a repaint than it is if it came.
Yeah, the
'Cause I
suit
wonder
doesn't
how much of
match.
that has to do with like what the underlying colors are. So if you're going off printed sculpt and it's just like the matte gray, and you
Yeah.
either prime it and then put the colors over it, whereas you're trying to cover up the colors that are already there, I think that's more challenging, and I feel like even those colors weren't exactly right.
Jerry's saying light blue is not classy.
Of course, Jerry would.
So
All right.
so far, you guys feeling this?
I was gonna ask. I really like it, but are any of you guys contemplating getting this one?
I am very much contemplating getting
Really?
this.
Okay.
Very much. So I told John in another chat that even so much
What's going on, Shane?
that I am considering replacing the other two Thanoses that I would like to get, the Sideshow on Throne and then the XM, with this for one of them. And I feel like the Sideshow might be the lesser.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I want this. I really do. So far I'm happy with what I'm seeing. We need to still see more. I want to see that gauntlet light up. I want to see him next to a few of the other characters, but in my opinion, we are on the right track here because this is beautiful.
See, and I'm gonna be more critical because I am a Thanos fan. You know, like he's my villain. You
Yeah.
know, if I'm going to any villain, it's him. And so I'm gonna be a little bit more nitpicky just because I am such a big fan. But I think this looks great. I think it's a different take for sure. Besides it being 1/3.
Yeah.
So Sean, what do you think of the base? Like, does the base do it for you too? Like you
The
mentioned,
base
like,
sells it.
it's-
That's what
yeah.
sells it for me. Like
Okay.
I'm buying it for the base. The story that it tells with the base and all the gods that he's stepping on and all that kind of stuff is the reason why I'm buying it. It's almost not even for Thanos. It's just like never seen anything like this before, where he's got all the other gods just kind of just entombed.
Yeah.
I just feel this is going to be like a centerpiece, and then you have the other Marvel companion pieces alongside it, surrounding. I'm excited.
You know what's funny, John?
Jerry's saying I'm covering the base. I hate to hear it.
It's funny that you mentioned that. Like, you're gonna get this one because it looks like you made space in between Thanos and Captain America for this.
I'm trying to rearrange some things. We'll probably won't see this for a very long time, but it's exciting to see at least some updates. And Jay, I think he's doing an amazing job with his line, and sharing with the community. I don't know. I'm all for it, to be honest.
Nice.
All right, so appreciate everyone tuning in for that, and LBS for sharing some photos. Keep up the amazing work and keep the photos coming, please, because we got to get this community excited. So far, I'm for it. Steve, are you considering it?
I only collect quarter scale for Marvel, but if I were like collecting 1/3 for Marvel,
Yeah.
I'd consider it. Yeah.
Well, that's for now. We'll get you
I know.
around.
I know.
Remember what you said about DC? You said the same thing about DC, and that changed real quick. How about you, Brenton?
I agree with you. Yeah.
Oh no, it's probably not for me.
Not for you.
It looks great, but yeah, I just don't think it would fit.
The line, your vision, your collection. Maybe one day.
Yeah. No, I don't think that day's coming.
All right, Sean. We'll get the deposits ready.
Oh, you know what? My little Thanos right over there. You kind of see him right there. That's definitely going. That would be one sacrifice right there for this guy. I'd have to make many.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, he'll be pricey, but I think worth it especially if you're a Thanos fan.
Oh, definitely.
Trey saying exactly my vision, John, with the entire Avengers line. I'm 100% in. I think, Trey, that'd look amazing. Jerry saying I'd like a non-Infinity Gauntlet switch out and a copper armor paint variant.
I mean, if you're going back to his first appearance, I mean, he did not have his gauntlet for a very long time, you know?
Yeah.
So.
But having I agree with it. Maybe a swap out would be good. I wouldn't use it as the main swap out, but having that option, yeah, that wouldn't be a
But
bad
at what
idea.
point do you like? I don't have many statues, but at what point are there too many swap outs? And it's like, well,
Yeah.
I just have money kind of sitting there because okay, now I have a torso. Now I have another set of arms, 3 head sculpts.
Yeah.
I mean,
In the statue world, it's funny because everyone wants these switch outs, but I would say 90% of the people that want these switch outs never use them. Like they use that one they want, and the rest of the switch outs they keep in the box for like the lifespan of the statue. So it's
Right.
statue world's different.
I guess you just like that option because if you like
Yeah.
a portrait that maybe
Right.
I don't like and I like a
Yeah.
different one, that at least you have that option
at
there.
least you have the one.
But I always wonder, when they're at this scale, how many swap outs do you actually want? Like, would you just do one torso and just be like, that's what it is to keep the price down? Like, I would rather have the price down than have all these options that I'm probably not going to use.
It's funny because like I got 1/3 over here, and the portraits by itself take up this 3 portraits from Superman just take up the space of like all the switch outs of my core skill stuff. So it's like you gotta think about space too. Like I don't know. People keep them in the box too. So I'm a guy that likes keeping them close by so I could swap them out from time to time. But yeah, swap outs 1/3.
That's why I'm just wondering if you could minimize it to one box, maybe one big box, not really any switch outs, just nail it the first time.
John, you got a few of them already. So like with space in mind, like what's your opinion? Like how much bigger is the box than like the XM Thanos, and stuff like that?
The more the merrier, in my opinion. Give me a second. I'm gonna get you guys another. I have another photo actually.
Sean, John has a sickness. That's all you gotta know.
Yep,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Wait till he gets that LBS Hulk, and then he'll talk about it.
Oh man, I really want that. I really want that Gray Hulk.
The Gray Hulk, really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, over the green, definitely.
It's dangerous life right
Let
there.
me show you another quick photo.
With everything that I already have, 112. I mean, we've talked about it with you already, so
Yeah.
There's
I'm telling
another,
you, like,
there's another portrait.
oh,
what?
Hey, yes, sir. Hold on.
LBS Hulk 2026.
It's probably not wrong. I mean, they still have to get Venom out, Iron Man out. That'll probably be like the 2 for next year.
So you get this portrait here.
oh, the eyes are.
Wow, that is. I would almost say, and then I can't tell. You get the little horns off the side,
I think his eyes are smoking.
off the eyebrow.
Jeez, you hate that.
I almost like that better
Yeah.
though. I almost like this one
That's
better
pretty
than the
cool.
other 3.
Yeah, but it is a nice swap out.
John, who's your contact? No kidding.
Oh,
Private chat.
Steve. Oh, Steve. So yeah, I like this portrait too. With the grin in the eyes.
That with paint in mind, of course, that almost has more of a look of the comic book Thanos. At
I
least
think the
way
eyes are
it's-
actually gonna light up here.
that would make it even better.
Do you
Yeah.
think it's batteries or is it a plug-in?
Yeah, it's
They're
batteries.
probably batteries.
What would y'all prefer though? Just plug in.
I like a plug-in. The batteries I have for all the ones I have, like I can never find the battery, or the battery dies within like the 3rd time I power it on.
I'm just nervous of keeping the battery in there. Just
That too,
even
yeah.
after I throw away the crappy ones.
Yeah, that was the first thing I did. See, I took my batteries out of Spider-Man here. So
Always pull the batteries out. Jerry's saying plug-in. So again, yeah. So we got to see another portrait. Looks good. 4 solid portraits. I think some good swap out there. We'll see what happens torso-wise if we're gonna get multiple torsos like the Hulk. I personally would like to see that. Ideally, for me, that would be awesome because then you can display him with the torsos on the right with the gauntlet, and then the torso on like a nice base next to him or somewhere else. That's how I would like it. But like I said, I think it's really still early. I'm glad to see we were able to get some extra photos, get the juices flowing. But damn, this is amazing.
It's
stuff.
amazing for sure.
Amazing
Especially if
stuff.
they're going to throw in. Is it going to be a fourth portrait, or are they going to? Is one of these not accurate now?
From what we're seeing, it's looking so far like there's 4 portraits in the works.
Yeah, that fourth one did it. If that comes out, then I'd be all in.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, hang on to your pants, because this one, I know Trey's super excited for this. I think this is one of his most anticipated statues of the year. But
Of the year,
well, I love the next 2-3 years, but you know what I
of the
mean.
2020s.
From what was shown this year, right, Trey? A few people like that. I've a lot of excitement around this piece.
I know, as Jose alluded to, I can't wait to see the
So,
in-hand photos.
what would you say is a realistic release time for this? You just said like we gotta wait on Venom, we gotta wait on a few others. If it is that long, then what are we thinking? Like 2028, 2026?
Maybe 2025, 2026.
Yeah.
You get that much longer, so pre-order is gonna go up. It's either gonna sell or it's gonna sit for a couple of years, and then
No, I don't even know when the pre-order's going to go up, because they haven't opened the pre-order for Venom. They haven't opened the pre-order for Iron Man. Like, all that's been opened, I think, for the last, 7 months was, like, Hulk's the only one that went out for PO from them, right?
Yep.
And I mean, Magneto's been hanging around there.
Awesome. Again, Jay, team over at LBS, thank you guys. This is exciting. Keep all that info coming and keep these amazing statues coming down the pipeline. Jerry's saying years go by fast. You're right.
For sure.
Trey's saying I think 2024. We're going to move on just to briefly talk about the Constantine statue that was shown by Prime 1 and the drama surrounding this. So you guys remember, we saw this originally, I think, Showcase 3, if I can remember, just as a little teaser, I think with some art that was shown. And then 3 or 4. And then the last showcase, everyone had gotten excited. They thought it was going to be 1/3. The last showcase, they actually showed the statue to the community, and it turns out it was 1/4 quarter scale. And there was an uproar. People were losing their minds, disappointed, because they wanted to complete their lines, and they wanted this in 3rd scale. So I guess a lot of feedback Prime 1 was getting from the community. We want 1/3, this and that. Oh, hope it's in 1/3. So I guess they listened. I got excited this morning because they gave us a little banner that said, "Oh, we're giving you this in quarter and 1/3." Oh, everyone's like, "Yeah." And then later on in the day, you go on to find out. Now, this we're looking here is the quarter scale rendition of Constantine, where you get Death, and you get that beautiful detailed wing on the base. And I'm gonna show you the 3rd scale, and I just don't cry, okay? Because I cried a little. They took away Death and the wing, all that detail. Apparently, due to some issues with engineering, they didn't think they can pull it off. Now, what do you guys?
They make it
What do you guys
the same
think?
material they did as Fabok Batman.
And that's what a lot of people were saying, that, hey, you just did Fabok Batman, that big cape just suspended there. Why not do that use that same material and pull it off? Are you guys still happy with this rendition like this in 3rd scale?
I think it takes away from it. I think that Death in the background there adds a lot to the statue. Now it kind of feels like it's glaring to me that something's missing when you look at it.
Yeah.
Would you be happy if it did have, let's say, like 1/3 did have Death, but didn't have the wing?
No, I want it all, Steve. I'm selfish. I want it all.
So like cost is just gonna go dramatically up if they
That's not for them to worry about. That's for
I
us to worry
I think
about.
that's where they changed their mind of including it, because by itself, like I would say this quarter scale one, I'm seeing it go. I'm thinking it's gonna go probably like 1100, 1200
Okay.
with the death behind him, and the 1/3 right now how it is like without death. I feel like it's gonna be 14, 1500.
Should be the
Yeah.
same
So
amount without
XM
the death.
quarter prices is what you're saying.
Mm,
Superman Hush's cape. Monstrosity, that thing. Come on.
mm.
They could have pulled it off.
Do
They
you
could
think
have
this
pulled it
is
off.
just their way of being like, we're gonna give you 1/3 collectors, but it's also like, this is what you get for all your complaining? Like, do you think they would think in those terms of like, here it is, but screw you guys?
I don't. I think that would shoot themselves. Why do something like that? What's their benefit?
Well,
Yeah.
they did it here. They already did it.
They did it, but what would their benefit be to say, "Hey, we're gonna undermine the collector"?
Because people are gonna buy it anyway to complete the line.
I don't think I. That's where people need to vote with their wallets and don't do it. Don't do it.
It's tough though. Like a lot of people are just, they're finally getting a Constantine and
Exactly
they're getting
what I
him
was
here. So it's kind of like,
There's a lot of Constantine fans out there.
Yeah. I guess there's probably a lot of people too that don't necessarily want that, or want it but don't really care if it's there or not. They just want the representation in the collection.
yeah.
I would almost say take off the wing for a more menacing, like phantomish cape, tattered, broken up, ripped up, or whatever it could be. Take away the wing with all the detail and just kind of give me some more like waviness to it. You know,
Yeah.
I mean the wing is, I mean, it's beautiful, and it's another great representation of death and stuff like that. The black wing, but like what you guys were talking cost, I don't know how much bigger. And you were saying there was the other cape. I haven't seen that statue. Which one was it? The Batman?
Which one?
The Fabok 1000.
Oh, the
Titanium
Fabok.
1000.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, I would have
people-
almost liked the cape better.
People love the detail in that cape, though, even though it's not polystone.
Sculpted,
Whatever
yeah.
they used it to make it out of, to make it a little bit lighter.
What's going on, Terry? Terry says, "Keep bitching. They'll give you the wing too." Hey, what's going on, Benny?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
Alan
feel
says
like
it. Alan says, if there's no death in the third scale, I'm out. Sorry,
I feel
Brendan,
like
you were saying.
people don't have that. I don't. I know like not everyone collects 1/3 or like has seen 1/3 in person.
Yeah.
But once you see a 1/3 in person, like just like the scale and the
The
size
presence.
is, yeah, it's another level.
Grandiose.
But once you see this with that death in the background, like it's just gonna blow. Like it's gonna take so much space. But who cares about space, right?
Look, for example, Steve, your third scale Batman, The Dark Knight. Those eagle's wings,
Yeah,
massive,
yeah.
massive.
It pushes like the death back like 14 inches. So
That's-
like,
but people still love that. People still bought that piece.
Do you think death being added there adds that much depth to the piece that it would like screw up things royally? And because the way the wing, it feels like it's tight around the base. Like,
It's almost like it's hugging him.
yeah, it's not gonna create crazy width for the statue, even in 1/3, and the height doesn't seem like it would be too awful, and it wouldn't wreck your depth. It's
It
not
almost-
gonna push it to like 30 inches deep.
It almost
Yeah.
pivots forward and does a wrap around.
the biggest or
Exactly.
the best argument I've seen so far from everybody has been from Just a Bum. Like they're doing a Superman versus Batman, and I think he said it was like 43 inches tall.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, that's it's
So,
true.
Steve, are you saying you don't buy this argument that they can't engineer it?
I don't buy it. Honestly,
Yeah,
I don't.
of
Yeah,
course
like
not.
all the things I've seen come from Prime One, and all the things that is coming from Prime One, like I don't buy that at all.
Would you settle and go
If
for the quarter?
No.
Okay.
I would. Yeah.
I think if this was third with the Death and the Wing, this would be like a day one for me. In third, like day one,
Yeah.
because I love the
see-
concept, the skeletons on the bottom, just the way they did artistically. This is beautiful. The portraits look stunning. Here you get the deluxe portraits. You get him holding the cards, the cigarette with the lighter. They hit all the marks where they dropped the ball. I almost want to backtrack and say I would have preferred them not to give us the third scale with at all option without the Death and the Wing.
Whoa.
What do you think about that?
I want a Constantine, so I am happy to get this.
Oh, so you're gonna get this?
So like, I was gonna say like this was like when I heard about this news, like I didn't know about Death not being included, was pushed up to like my on top of my list. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, we're finally getting it,
Exactly.
But now that we're not getting this Death, it's like it's been pushed down.
Yeah.
I want to get
Lynch
Green
is good.
Lantern.
So you didn't know you weren't not getting it, and now that you saw it, and it's not going to 1/3, it dropped down.
The
it
Death.
dropped down. Yeah, because like they announced this last night and they were just saying it's going to be in 1/3 now. And they didn't like this morning. I think they released saying like,
Precisely.
well, Death is not included.
Yeah.
So the news was like spread out throughout the night in the morning.
Alan says visually it ties the piece together. I completely agree.
Does this kind of tell you that quarter is still the preferred scale of why they would go to the extra?
For sure.
Yeah, it just kind of sucks though because if that's the argument, like what other quarter scale from this line have they done?
And that's the thing. Do you think this is a door or a window to making a line and more characters in that scale?
I think it is. They'd slap the 10-year anniversary on it, make
Yep.
them a smaller scale, just like they've done
Or
with some other stuff with their variant colors. And
Yep, precisely.
Or they're using it as an out, like we've heard that you want 1/3, but we're gonna give you this and see if that's the opening. And when it doesn't sell, well, I was like, well, we tried this already and it was not perceived.
Yep,
they would say, we gave you 1/3, nobody bought it.
exactly.
Right. Which
I
kind
know.
of sucks too, because it's almost like in the 1/12 world, it'd be like the Rancor. It's like, no, you just did not deliver a good enough product.
Look at this side view without the wing there. I don't know. For me, it just adds so much character to the piece. Anyone who's still interested in picking him up, of course, congratulations. It's still a beautiful Constantine piece.
Yeah.
It's absolutely stunning. It's really difficult to get your hopes up, and then I don't know. For me, I'd almost go for the quarter, just because of that piece. It's still going to be a fairly large piece, but I don't know if you're listening, Prime. Come on,
Listen.
smile up.
So, did y'all say that this was part of another line?
Yeah, the Justice League Dark, because they've done like Swamp Thing and Dead Man.
Yeah.
Zatanna.
And
Zatanna.
and I know there's a lot of Constantine fans out there, but do you think this is the Grail piece of that line? I mean, maybe that's why. Maybe you put another one on a pedestal, a little bit bigger, a little bit less, and then this is like the accent piece.
I don't know. I still feel like he'd be smaller than Swamp Thing.
He would. Yep. Then the third scale Swamp Thing, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if he was in 1/3, now we're talking with your theory, Sean.
Yeah, I haven't
Now-
seen the other stuff, so I mean, I don't.
Yeah. So you get so they haven't given us prices yet. Apparently it goes up for pre-order tomorrow, which our time should be later on this evening. So just to give you, we're going to wrap everything up. Just to give you guys some more info, there's a limited edition bonus version that comes with 300 art prints signed by Liber Mayo.
That's a quarter scale, though.
This is for the quarter.
I
No,
would say
the third has it also. The third scale has it also.
I would say return it and put that a freaking death behind.
You know what? I have to say, if you can go back to like the deluxe photos, or
Yeah.
like even the 1/3, like they kind of got you here because you have to go deluxe. You can't just get
Yeah.
regular because I don't know what portrait this is on just the regular, if that's like new 52. But from what I've seen in Constantine, his hair is always kind of crazy like the other two.
Messy. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think I would ever be able to display the regular one. Like that's a bad option for just a regular.
And then they have the what they're gonna have where he has the bonus part with the cigarette. Beautiful. He has the lighter, the swap out with the lighter. They did a fantastic job on that front. And again, it comes with the versions. It comes with is the Constantine quarter regular without those deluxe portraits, and then you get the deluxe. So quarter has 2 options, and then same with third scale, the non-deluxe without those extra portraits, and then the deluxe. But to your point, I think it's crucial to get that extra portrait.
I mean, so I didn't see it, but you've been mentioning the cigarette and the lighter. So is that in his hand or is that in his mouth? Like the
It's
cigarette.
here.
He's
It was
gonna
in the
have a
first
cigarette
photo.
in his mouth, I think.
First photo
Right
here,
there, like in his ring and pinky.
right here.
Oh, he has it in his mouth too. Wow.
He has it in his
okay.
mouth as well.
Okay.
Really quick question. Do you guys think, if you could leave it right here, do you guys think the detail is going to be less on the quarter, or is it going to match the third scale on? Like the detail on
Good
the
question.
sculpt
would
and
hope it-
everything?
I would hope it looks exactly the same because
It's
I
a
think
big jump. It's a big jump.
I mean losing the death is big enough to not have some of the detail also.
We'll see. Of course, they're gonna have to pay more attention to the detail on the third, just because of the scale. But I don't know. This is some food for thought. 2 great statues tonight. But I think that Prime 1, guys, if they can, I doubt they're gonna do anything at this point. But we can be the voice to try to push it. But I don't think it's gonna happen. And to your point, Brenton, you brought it up today quickly before we wrap up. The skull and the coat. That was beautiful. That's a beautiful touch.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that.
I didn't
till
notice
today.
it until you said something. Yeah.
Do you see it, Sean? Like I didn't see it until Brenton mentioned it too.
The
So on the
what?
right,
Do you
on
see
the right side.
the way his coat is flaring? It's an actual skull
Oh,
sculpted.
it's a skull. That is legit.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's awesome. That was a cool touch. I didn't notice until Brenton said something.
I appreciate a piece that has some kind of hiddenness into it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most
Yeah,
definitely.
you see it sometimes on bases. Sometimes you see it like,
Right.
yeah, it's really cool.
Well, guys, this has been a blast. Short little Monday video. Thank you guys for hopping on, Sean, Brenton,
Yeah.
and Steve. Guys, be sure to check out Steve, Casual Nerd Problems. Tomorrow he has his statue show. Steve, 8 o'clock Eastern time. That's the place to be, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Going to talk this week's statue news and some great topics. Sean, small talk this week.
We'll have a pre-record. We are going to have a live episode of OFAC, so you'll get your 1/6 stuff going live. We'll do a pre-record, or we have a pre-record for some Mythic Legions. Sorry, some Mythic Legions, specifically the Moose and crap. I lost the figure's name, but we'll have a pre-record this later on this Thursday and stuff, and we do have a giveaway going. So
Awesome. And of course, Brenton, you'll catch him on Steve's show, as well as Club on Fridays, and his own project, Question of the Week, on Sundays, which we all love. Guys, we're going to be heading, everyone's welcome here, but we're going to head over to Collecting Weekly. We're going to do a J&D Harley Quinn unboxing right now with Lane. So be sure to hop on over to Collecting Weekly. We're going to get that started. Everyone who tuned in today on the chat, appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed the photos. A big shout out to Jay and LBS, as well as Prime One Studios. And again, everyone in the chat and everyone who's going to watch afterwards, drop a comment. Love spending time with you guys. Until next time, we will catch you for Reactables episode 7. Until next time, take care, guys. And always remember, collect responsibly.